Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Tinfoil Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're ready for your weekend. Very exciting. Today we have all sorts of more conspiracy nonsense, some QAnon stuff, some reptilians. Should be lots of fun. So welcome, welcome. We did have a hydrate command earlier. Let me get to that and go over chat, and then we will get started. How's everyone doing? Might have to rewatch Bells of Innocence. I don't know if I want to watch that again, to be honest. Yeah, I heard about Chuck Norris. He was an asshole. I'm glad I hope the memes stop. Chuck Norris memes have been old and overused since I was about 14 years old. Anyway, Unconditional Prong, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says, I might have to go with Silent Rage for my Chuck fix. A Michael Myers type gets kicked down a well in that one. Has anyone seen Invasion USA? There's a bad Chuck Norris movie to watch. That's by Canon Films. Dodger Mutt, thank you for gifting a sub. Dillis Filler, thanks for 34 months. Says, chat rejects your jurisdiction. Wait, it's Tinfoil Day. Chat says you're actually 3 short John Waters clones in a Hannah suit. Oh, that'd be nice. I'd be a lot more talented if I was John Waters, much less 3 John Waters. That's incredible. Speaking of John Waters, Hairspray's getting released by Criterion. Very fun. Socialist Kowalski says, guess what? My piece of shit dad died. He abandoned me before ever knowing that I was non-binary or widowed after being married to a man for 10 years, being part of the same LGBTQIA that he wished a violent genocide upon. Well, I'm happy for your loss then. I know that could cause a lot of emotions. I'm still waiting for my shitty dad to die. So you're living my dreams. But no matter what, my thoughts are with you. Even though people are terrible, sometimes it can cause all sorts of emotions. So, I'm thinking about you. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. And Bumble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. We are on a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train, you can gift subs or bits or become a subscriber yourself. A bad Canon film, that's impossible. In fairness, have you seen The Apple? Have you seen The Apple? Robert Ed Set with 100 stream streak says, ooh, does this make me a centurion? It does. Get your shield ready. 22% to level 2 on the hype train. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream, hit the thumbs up button, it helps a lot. And you guys know the rest if you want to help support the stream and keep it going. Memberships, super chats, all that chats. You guys know the drill. So anyway, with that out of the way, I will turn off the intro music and we can jump right in. I wanted to start with the QAnon guy that I found recently. I don't know, I just haven't seen a lot of QAnon people in a while, and I like that I'm getting to see some of them again. I find QAnon to be fascinating. That was a great period in our ability to, look at conspiracy theorists. It was so widespread. You own the Apple on Blu-ray? That's a good get. That's a good get. The other day I went to a local store that sells used Blu-rays, and I got Fright Night. That's good. Oh, fuck, Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Hannah mentions Blu-rays on the bingo card. Anyway, so this video by him, his name is Eli. He's a QAnon believer and an Asara believer. This video is actually from 3 years ago, but it does lay some of the foundational, beliefs that he has. So I wanted to take a look at this, and then we'll look at some of his newer videos he's posted in the last couple days. Dodger Mutt, thank you so much for 1,000 bits. That's very generous of you. Let me get Hannah Mentions Blu-rays, and then we will get started. All right, let's jump into it.
However, I just want to explain 3 things that are going to be completely transformed in the future and why this is the best news possible. The financial system, the medical system, and the governmental systems will be completely transformed, and this is the best news possible. I'm going to explain why in this video. Please like and subscribe. Smash the like button if you like what you hear. Make sure you check out the show more. I have all kinds of information and related services. We have live meetings twice a day. Come join us. We can get more granular.
You have meetings twice a day? That seems like a lot of meetings. Do you have a life?
About the information that's
Kariko59, thanks for 35 months, and Sweet Lily Love, thanks for 100 bits.
pouring out, and let's rock. The world is about to be transformed. We're coming into the Great Awakening. We're coming into the era of the Mashiach, of the Messiah. And this is not a cause for disunity, or don't be scared that I'm talking about religion, because religion also will be completely transformed. I'm going to get into
Don't be afraid that I'm talking about religion, because everything will be enveloped by
that in other videos. But right now, I'm just going to focus on three major systems that are transforming and why this is important and exciting and great. The first is the financial system. We will experience under the current president a complete crashing of the system. Now,
Again, he's a Trump supporter, and this was when Biden was president, so
that
while he's talking, I'm going to fix the light real quick.
horrible news? Is it something to be afraid of? Not at all. It's just the opposite. There's a safety net already in place called the quantum financial system, and that will catch us all from falling. It will look like everything is going sour, but this is the good news. This has to happen for there to be a transition from the old system. The IRS will be gone. There'll only be taxes on new products, certainly not on income.
All right, the light doesn't want to work, so I guess there's just no light today. I don't understand when they bring up the quantum financial system. I've never heard a single one of them explain what the quantum financial system is. It's just kind of a thought-terminating cliche. Because again, I've never heard a definition. It's just throwing a sci-fi word onto a thing that already exists. You can't just do that and have it be a fully fledged thing. Except AI psychosis, which is kind of the exception to the rule.
There's going to be, no federal banking system. There will be no mortgages the way we have them now. Everything will be a lot cleaner and simple. This will be the quantum financial system. They won't know you in a scary way, like, they're tracking you. They will know you in a godly way. They will be there to support you. This is going to be a brave new world.
Don't worry, Big Brother is going to spy on you, but I agree with their goals, so it's not nefarious.
Second system that will go through a complete transformation is the medical system.
It might be the torment nexus, guys, but I kind of like the people in charge, so it's probably fine. Bumble Homestead says, how do these people think that no income tax is going to work to their benefit unless they're pulling in multi-million dollars a year? These people do not understand how anything works, how things are funded. They've just been poisoned by the American, post-1980s idea that taxes are always a bad thing, and that it's evil, and that you should always reduce taxes, which is, again, not something you can do functionally forever. America's been on a spree of lowering taxes, especially for the wealthy, for about 40 years, and, well, here we are, so...
No longer will we be using
minute left on the hype train.
The model of fixing the sick. We will be keeping people well, not with the same technology, not with operations and not with medicine, but with vibrational therapies, with music, with light, with love.
With light and love. I don't think that's going to work on an infection. You might need antibiotics for that. Believe sci-fi tech exists and vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. Thank you so much, Nemesaur, for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs. 28% to level 5 on the hype train.
Going into a completely different world,
I gotta try and fix that light again. I'm sorry, I look so weird without it. All right, that better stay.
World and the medical system. There'll be med beds which cures all diseases and will make you 30 years younger. I know this sounds like pie in the sky, but this is all pretty verifiable if you really do your research.
Pretty verifiable. Do your own research on the bingo card, and by do your own research, he means looking at posts on 4chan. That's apparently research now. Take that, people with PhDs. This guy has an internet connection and no sense of discernment.
If you get off the mainstream information sources that use the tell-lie vision to disrupt the truth, there is a truth underneath, and it's God's truth and it's humanity's truth. We're coming to this new age, so the bankster system where they were stealing your money and getting you involved in credit cards just to pay your groceries and all this kind of thing. This will be...
You don't have to get a credit card. Credit cards can be great for emergencies, or if you get one where you get cash back and you put stuff like groceries on it and you pay it off every month, so you just get the benefits. If you're a responsible person, credit cards can be a totally fine thing. Don't get me wrong, the industry can be incredibly predatory, so I'm not gonna pretend that's not the case. But, like, you don't have to get a credit card. They don't put a gun to your head. Stone Corbell says, so if this guy has used this technology and looks 30 years younger, does that make him 100 actually? He's not claiming to have used the technology. He's not claiming to have used the technology, like Sky Prince had claimed.
Be gone soon.
Remember in her early videos, she claimed, I think she was like over 100 or something.
We'll be coming into an era of great prosperity. No fear, only comfort and love and peace. There will be no wars. We will be instituting Jasara Nasara. Under Jasara Nasara, all currencies will be backed by precious metals, and they will be recorded in the quantum financial system. So you won't have to worry about anything financially. You won't have to worry about your health. You'll be a lot younger, a lot healthier. We'll be eating healthy foods. We'll be living in healthy environments that vibrate with beautiful frequencies and light and music and love. And
this guy feels like a hippie that something terrible happened to, and this is where he's ended up in his life.
Instead of the current...
He's got kind of a hippie vibe, or maybe my dates are off. If he's this old now, he wouldn't have even been alive in like the... Wait, when was the 60s, 70s? Could he have been a hippie? I don't know his age. Either way, hippie adjacent at least, that has somehow gotten sucked into this.
Current prison system that we're involved with now, the Matrix. We are leaving the Matrix.
Matrix on the bingo card. That one's borderline a free space now. The Matrix. Have you guys seen The Matrix? It explains everything about life, guys. Or you could, you know, just enjoy a movie and not frame your whole life around it. That would also probably be good. Level 5 on the, what's the word? Why am I blanking so hard on words lately? Hype train, minute left, thanks.
That's the bottom line.
If not hippie, then crunchy, yeah.
The third system that will be changed is the governmental systems. We
had vibes-based conspiracy, Jay's a proxy, yes.
Have a government that will be 10% of the size it is now, and they will be there to support you, not to disrupt you as they are now. We saw clearly that there was a class of elites that were disrupting the entire system on the planet. This goes into the Garden of Eden, which I'm not going...
Again, he's a fan of Trump, so maybe a little hypocrisy there. A little bit of hypocrisy.
Going to get into in this video.
We'll call that hypocrisy on the bingo card. Trying to call out elites while he supports Trump. Probably not great. Where is... There we go. Hypocrisy. Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
Video, but if you subscribe, you can see other videos where I describe what happened in the Garden of Eden and how it led to where we are now and why this is all a great thing. Because we have incorporated this reptilian DNA and we are using it now, using that extra strength to propel us, to use that strength to do godly, beautiful, wonderful things. And that's where...
I'm sorry, do you think that you've been injected with reptilian DNA? Or is this just someone somewhere has been turned into a reptile, a la that Voyager episode where they turned into reptiles and banged?
We're going. So when...
We gotta get reptilians on the bingo card real quick. You did hear lizard people. You did.
When the economy crashes, which will be soon, do not panic. The people behind the scenes have your back. Everything is already in place. The quantum financial system...
Threshold, thank you. I did not know the name of that episode. I'm not the biggest Voyager fan.
I believe is almost ready to go. That's why they're waiting for the crash. Everything is being controlled. You're watching basically a movie. If you're watching the mainstream media, and for sure you're watching a production of a fantasy world that doesn't really exist. Remember, it's not called the tell-lie vision for nothing, okay? So we're coming into...
Again, that's not the etymology of television. Incorrect word etymology is evidence on the bingo card. Incorrect word origin is evidence. Oh, and we're all watching a movie. Duh. We're all watching a movie. Getting a lot of spaces from this guy on the first video. Wow.
An era of truth. So the banking system will be completely changed. There won't be taxes. All your credit card debts, I believe, will be forgiven. All your credit cards will be forgiven. Your mortgages will be forgiven. In fact, you're going to get paid back for all the illegal interest that the elites stole from you. So the
interest is not illegal.
Banking system is changing, the medical system is changing, and the governments will be much smaller. Soon you will...
I think he means it's against his religion, because it does say in the Bible, for instance, that you shouldn't do usury.
Hear about...
But it's not illegal.
Nasara Jasara. Nasara Jasara...
Does he use a telephone, or is that different? That's totally different.
Is the basic outline, the basic structure that we will be working under. And this was instituted many years ago, I believe in the year 2001, but the elites did their best to hide this from humanity. Under Nasara Jasara, the 6,000 patents that have been withheld from us, all the cures, all the communication systems, all the travel systems, all the flying car systems, all these things that have been withheld from us will be revealed. So this...
It's kind of a millennialist fantasy. It's the idea that there's this, like, utopia that's coming, and it's inevitable, and it's all gonna come soon. You need to warn people, it's coming, the shift is coming.
Will change everything.
And there's literally a ready-made utopia just under the surface, ready to show itself to the uninitiated.
Under Nasara...
We did get sci-fi tech, yes.
Jasara, all the judges and legal system will be completely transformed into a system that makes complete sense instead of...
How does one withhold a patent? I would imagine he thinks they're classified, which wouldn't really make sense for patents, because it's like a public registry to demonstrate who owns what patents. So I don't know how that would work. Gray Freya, thanks for... your subscription. Appreciate you for 22 months.
Waste your time and money. Everything, the government will be 10% of the size. We'll be using silver and gold-backed currency, precious metal-backed currency, and everything is going to be really, really transformed. Everything we will have...
We need shiny metal. The economy doesn't work unless we're trading with shiny metal.
A selection process they will announce after the economy crashes and all the information comes out of
It reminds you of the the dimensional merge from Chris Chan, It's Always Coming. Oh my god. I today came across Christine Weston Chandler's YouTube channel, and she is still posting, and it's incredibly depressing.
About what the elites have been doing to us for the last couple thousand years. We will have a new selection process, and like I said, the government will be 10% of the size it is now. It will all be on blockchain. It'll be completely kosher and on.
Again with the buzzwords. Don't worry, Congress will be on the blockchain. What does that mean? What do you think that means? And why do you think it's better?
Honest, everything in the future will be kosher and honest. We're coming to a brave new world where we will communicate directly to source. We won't need...
Brave New World is the title of a dystopian novel. Probably not the best choice of words.
Television to tell us what's going on. You will know just by your...
Though if things continue to get worse, I do hope they invent Soma.
Instincts, by following your thoughts, by talking to others, by watching what's around you. We're coming into an era where we will be fruitful and multiply. Children will be free and safe. Women can walk down the streets without fear. We will all be feeling comfortable.
You're gonna fix predatory men somehow? What the fuck does that mean?
There will be no...
Why do you think that an economic change would stop predators from predating on people? That doesn't make any sense.
Fear.
Again, it's just in his head. It's this ready-made utopia. All problems will be gone, and his ideology will be dominant forever, and no one will disagree, and everyone will be on board, and everything will be perfect forever. The end.
We shall not lack. We will have plenty to go around. There always has been plenty. It's just that the elites kind of got in the way. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos. Come to our live meetings. We can get more granular, more specific. Check out the show more. We have all kinds of interesting things down there. May the force be with you. May God bless and protect you. And let's get out there with a radiant smile, because we're coming into this incredible new age, and rock the world.
Oh boy. All right, let's take a look at his more recent stuff. This is some stuff he posted in the last couple days. They're only a couple minutes each.
My friends and family, by now you're starting.
His production quality's gone down over the years, I've noticed. Now he just kind of picks up a camera and just films. He used to have editing. Wonder why. Wonder if he had a friend or something that edited for him and then something happened, or if he just can't afford to hire an editor anymore.
Starting to realize that this war.
Profane Priestess says, when he says government will be 10% the size, what does he mean? Does that mean defending our bloated military, or defunding, rather, our bloated military, cutting out corrupt lobbying, abolish undemocratic systems like the Senate, SCOTUS, and the Electoral College? Oh, who are we kidding? Doge showed us what they mean. Social programs, scientific research, and foreign aid that the global poor rely on. I think it mostly has to do, again, with that, like, American mythological idea that government bad. This has been prevalent since Reagan. Government bad. Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. So to people like this, it's a very simple formula. Less government good, more government bad. The fact that that statement in and of itself is devoid of any nuance or actual thinking about how vast and complex the government is and its functioning, to them it's just more government bad, less government good. They have simplified the entire concept and have latched onto that axiom as a truth, and they will not be dissuaded from it. That's a large part of the American electorate. It's not great.
Meaning the war, the information war, the war of dark versus light, the war of God versus Satanist, is not about countries or political forces. It's not about Democrats and Republicans. It's not about China. It's not about Russia, Israel, or Iran. It is about the force behind all these things, the force that of the planet, the planet that plans wars. These are satanic rituals. Are
satanic on the bingo card. I notice he's not really talking about Iran. That's interesting. Satanic.
Realm has been run by Satanists who...
Trey says, I think something that bears mentioning is that the government bad mentality that permeates, I assume that was supposed to be, through multiple generations of this country as a result of the fetishization of individuality. We don't raise people on stories of communities coming together to fix a problem. We raise people on stories of one great man saw a problem and rallied people together as a leader to fix the issue that the group wasn't able to handle, the individual over the group. Agreed.
Do terrible things to our children.
Doesn't understand his problem is capitalism. That's fair. We can mark that. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism.
And to human bodies in general. I would stay away from McDonald's food if I were you. But the point...
He thinks that McDonald's is full of human meat. This is a common conspiracy theory. I've already gone over why this doesn't make sense. But no, McDonald's does not contain human meat. Even ethical considerations aside, it's not practical to get that many people to turn into meat for burgers. Do you know how much meat McDonald's goes through every day? You would notice the number of people missing. Like, they go through a lot of meat.
Is that we must start to look inward, to take responsibility for what's happening. What does it mean? It means that you are naturally gifted. You are the Christ. You are the Messiah. You are Neo.
You are the Christ. Yes, the great Jesus Christ.
You are the one, and all you have to do is claim your power. We're not waiting for somebody to come and save us. We're not waiting for Mashiach. It says in Judaism that you will wait for Mashiach every day. This is the basic tenet of Judaism. What a bunch of bullshit. Wait, I will wait. You will not receive, you will not become the Messiah. You will wait every day. That's the basic decree. So stop waiting and start living. Start becoming who you really are, which is a creation of creation. You are the manifester of the universe, and your thoughts will manifest. So if you're thinking about, oh my God, China's there's no chance the government's doing this, all these fear-based thoughts are just designed to keep you from your true power, which is that you are connected directly to creation itself, and you can create whatever world you want. Join us later live. Have a great day.
Woof. One more quick 2-minute video from him, and then we'll move on to the next conspiracist. Did we do word salad yet? We did not. I don't think we've had it yet. He's done, well, quantum grammar and stuff. Or not quantum grammar, sorry, quantum financial system. That's pretty word salad. I'll have to give in to that one. Word salad.
We have come to the end of the great movie, of the great production. This is a continuity of governance operation. If you look at the Law of War Manual 11.3, when the invading force, the deep state, this foreign enemy, foreign and domestic enemy, no longer, in fact, controls the population.
The deep state, of course, on the bingo card. Oops, that's the wrong button. The deep state. Wow, look at how many spots we've gotten from this one guy. Sheesh. When it rains, it pours.
Population, then the military can step in publicly. They're already in control. The military's been in control, and they're producing and directing a new movie in which you are the star. You're the star of your movie. You're there to save the world, to save your world, to save yourself from this invader, these foreign and domestic terrorists, really, that have run your life, kept you enslaved, taxed you, shot you up with dangerous drugs, fed you disgusting food and all the like. This movie, that movie has come to an end. And it's like the Truman Show. It's just a matter of whenever you feel like waking up, you will wake up and save yourself and save your world. You are the one. You are Neo. You don't need anyone to come and tell you this even. But we're coming.
I want to point out that Neo very specifically did require people to come and tell him he was the one. That's the plot of the first movie.
Coming to the end of it now. This is continuity of governments, and as soon as the deep state, as the invading force no longer, in fact, controls the population, that means, very simply, that we just have to join the Republic. When enough people, and not a lot of people have to join for the White Hats to step in and make their operation public. They're already running the world, but we need to see it. We need to understand it. We need to be an active part in this grand movie, this great central casting, as President Trump likes to call it. But all we have to do is wake up, join the Republic. It could happen today. The White Hats are just waiting for us to open our eyes and accept the truth that we're free. Check out my song below, too, and join us live. I'll be back on Sunday night. Have a great day.
I wonder the last year that guy played taxes. Probably not this decade. Anyway, let's see what else we have. Oh boy, do you want to see how Daniel Pratt's doing? I'm keeping a close eye on him because he's been doing quite poorly lately. The news has been getting to him. Not good.
Come on, folks. So I spent a couple days praying for more patience. Sometimes the flesh gets a hold of you and you get a bit angry, especially when you spent the better part of 10 years begging and pleading for people to listen to the information you found out. to see others that found this information out regarding biblical Earth, flat Earth, level Earth.
You know, he doesn't like Trump, but do we know how he voted? I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't vote. I think he calls elections selections, so I don't think he thinks that voting is real. I think he thinks it's all a psyop and that the winner is predetermined.
You refer to it as.
That's speculation on my part. I haven't heard him say that directly, but usually the kind of conspiracy theorist that calls elections selections doesn't vote.
And seeing that there are people that discover absolutely 100% without question this place is created. It's certainly not some result of
It's sad so many people devote their lives to nonsense. I devote my life to nonsense, and it's working out pretty well for me.
Firecracker of nothing.
Yes, El Cowell, we did get that.
And then still just work overtime to attack the Christians and the people that come to and back to Jesus because of that discovery, that awakening. Because I believe it's the Holy Spirit that, for whatever reason, some of us were chosen to receive this information and try to warn the world.
He's a special chosen one.
And so many, yeah, Jaron, I'm talking to you, have made
Somehow Palpatine returned.
a living of blaspheming that Holy Spirit and making a mockery of it. You know, I'll pray for you, but good luck. I think you're going to need it. And all of these other anti-flat earth, these flat earth trolls that have worked so hard, even though, crazy enough, all the videos I did about geopolitics and the situation the world seems to be headed were right where I've said we were, because I'm such a crazy, out-of-touch lunatic. Like, just search my name in flat earth.
I don't understand what geopolitical thing he got right. He's never, to my knowledge, said, we're going to attack Iran under Trump. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Is it literally just because end times prophecy and you're connecting it to that? Of course he is. Jay's a proxy. QAnon referenced deep state, free space, uses AI, flat earth. Did we have use AI yet? I don't think we had uses AI. Let me take a look. We do not have uses AI yet. Close, though.
You too, people, I pray for you that you finally wake up, get over your hatred for God, and understand this stuff is real.
People who aren't religious don't hate a literal God because we don't believe God exists. We might have opinions on the fictional character of God, but we don't hate God because we don't think one exists. It doesn't make any sense to be mad at an entity that doesn't exist. I might be somewhat upset with people who hold those beliefs and use it for evil or use it to self-aggrandize, but that's not hating God, right? That's seeing negative aspects of a belief system. Do we still not get this? In almost the 2030s, do we still not get this?
So that's what I'm waiting for, this video. It's talking about the third temple and that. That's the jumping point I'm waiting for to know, you know, if it's really go time or not. When that Al-Aqsa Mosque is destroyed, I expect it's coming. I expect it's coming before July 4th. I don't know. We'll see. Again, these things take time. It's hard to figure out timelines in their heads. You got Tucker Carlson out there about this is the war of the third temple. So I personally believe all of these, you know, that's why I've been pushing the Pike letter for so many years. Excuse me. For so many years. Is because, you know, I've pointed out and talked freely about how, you know, similar it is to the book of Revelation. And it just seems to be
Christians have been lining up modern events with the Book of Revelation in America for at least a century. So, you're not original in that. When I went to school at that Baptist fundamentalist school when I was a kid, they were also saying that it was the end times, and that, like, the wars in the Middle East at that time were part of the end times. This is a thing that certain denominations of Christians do. Well, they will always take modern events and try and shoehorn them into what they believe are prophecies about the end times.
Lucifer's plan for the book of Revelation, they can't stop talking about how this is to bring on Armageddon, and so they're telling the soldiers this and that. Well, I think that's their attempt at misdirection. I think it's to usher in their one world doctrine of Lucifer, one world religion. I think this will all of it ties together. What Alexander's talked about for years, the dark world order versus the false light world order. It's the same as the book of Revelation. How does the whole world marvel after the beast? Well, we're about to find out, I think.
I don't understand people who are Christian and believe in the rapture, but, like, they're scared or upset about it. That's very confusing to me. You think that this is predetermined. You believe that the Bible says God will win. You believe your soul is saved, and that you will have an eternity in heaven whenever, either when the rapture happens, or if you believe in a post-tribulation rapture, after, like, Antichrist shit. But you're effectively immune from anything, right? You could get tortured, you could get killed. You think you're still going to end up in heaven. So why are they afraid of anything? You know what I mean? It's very confusing to me. You should be like, oh wow, the end times are happening, great. You know? I've seen people on TikTok being like that, and being excited about what they think are the end times, which is discomforting, and it makes me sad that so many people hate the world and their lives so much that they're begging to go somewhere else. But, like, at least that to me is logically consistent with the belief, you know? It follows to me that based on their beliefs, they'd be excited for the rapture. This confuses me. I do not understand him being upset.
Beat a dead horse into oblivion. I know, too late, but...
Juggle, will do.
It's amazing times. As frustrating and as heavy as it weighs on me, and I know it does many of you. It's a glorious time. His glory shines brighter than ever.
Sorry.
His wisdom, his knowledge.
Where'd it go? No.
The only reason I was able to see any of it and be prepared and warn others like you.
Oh my god, I found my 80s costume headband. I lost this like 3 months ago.
Was just being open to the Holy Spirit.
Where's my ball?
So sick of the obvious lies. Even at the time I had no idea the extent of the lies. But I could see that's what this world was built on, and it's just permeated in it. That's why...
I lost one of my balls.
That's the original sin, and that's why Jesus made sure to tell us he is the truth, because anything else ain't gonna cut it. And you can bitch, moan, laugh, scoff all you want. We're seeing the evidence of it.
Profane Priestess with 40 bits says, speaking of the rapture, here's a cleanse.
My favorite thing about the Christian pedophilic cannibal cabal that is speedrunning the end times is they think they're gonna get into heaven. They think they're gonna pass judgment of the end times. God knows everything, dude. He's seen the unredacted Epstein list. I love it when Christians treat heaven like a club you can get into by name-dropping the owner's son. Like, Peter's up at the gate like, dude, you are not on the list. And they're like, no, dude, I know Jesus. Jesus and I are really good friends. You should let me in. And he's like, you know Jesus? Describe Jesus for me. He's like, oh, well, you know, he's like a white guy who hates immigrants. It's like, man, get out of here. My favorite thing about the Christian...
I do find that funny. I think a lot of that has to do with the Protestant belief that faith is what gets you into heaven and works are irrelevant. At least within Catholicism, works don't get you into heaven specifically, but they say within Catholicism that works are fruits of your faith, and without evidence of your faith through those fruits, in what way do you actually have faith if you're not, like, going out in the world and helping people? How are you demonstrating that you have faith and believe in the things that what they believe God, said? But yeah, Protestants are just like, just believe in Jesus, and that's it, and you can be an asshole. As long as you apologize. Just a Peach with a tip says, didn't your balls land in the waste bin? They did. They're smoke now. My phantom balls!
So.
Just saying, they probably burned that stuff up in a furnace, and it's out in the air, so if you're from Michigan, there's a chance you've breathed a particle of my balls.
I know you globe proponents and you brilliant scientists just love to mock me and make all your mockery videos.
Okay.
But also know that I know deep down in that self-centered whatever little bit of soul you may have left, I've been right about a lot of this stuff.
I can't think of a thing he's been right about, to be honest, and I'm not saying that as a snarky thing. I'm saying that as someone who has watched most of his content over the last 3 years or so. I don't remember a single thing he's, like, specifically right about, either about flat Earth or geopolitics.
Can't say it's your final warning, but it might be the final one from me. Don't let me determine your fate, your hatred for me. But I think in the end, we know who you're.
Personally, if I die and there was an afterlife, I'd hope it would be the thing where they measure your heart against a feather, because I just like the theatrics of that. That's fun.
Really hate. And I can't help you with that other than to tell you repent. The rest of us, we just gotta, it was so frustrating for so many years, and it still is, knowing that these people can't hear me, or you or us that have been trying to warn them, but still just, it just always brings me back to the patience of the saints and how it keeps talking about this, the patience, because wow, the patience you need to be a saint in this world. I have no clue because I don't have it. But what I do have is unshakable faith in Jesus, and that this is all going the way it's supposed to go. In that I have total faith, and those, worried about that third temple and your Messiah coming back, you too.
H-Beard says, if you preface every statement with, the sun will rise in the east tomorrow, then combined with all the times you introduce yourself, tell people where you live, etc., you'll be right the majority of the time. That's certainly a strategy.
I pray for you.
I'm not particularly fond of that meta, though.
That you see the truth. One other thing I wanted to say is, folks, you're big people. You got your own minds. You're critical thinkers, but I would just ask again, please don't get wrapped. Powers and principalities, folks.
Sorry, I just noticed my thing has been slowly unzipping during the entire duration of the stream because of the way it sits, and I'm kind of unzipping it accidentally. Ugh! That should be better. Not putting pressure on it anymore.
At this point, the Jews, the Jesuits, the Templars, does it really matter? They've all played a massive role. They are all controlled by the same powers and principalities.
Let's call that both overt anti-Semitism and Illuminati Freemasons cabal. There we go.
Do those that think it's all the Jews really think the Jesuits were like,
One of those kind of streams. You know, if I had the body for it, I'd make a lot more money than streaming like this.
well, okay, we'll just sit this
Those dice didn't roll in my favor, though.
one out. I mean, you know, so it's been all of them. Israel didn't
Hey, Freyline.
trick the world into thinking it's a globe. That was the Vatican. And, you know, so powers and principalities, don't get so wrapped up in who's, I think that's part of their game, getting people more worried about whose fault, who's in control, who cares? Satan is in control for now. I think that much is clear. Whatever puppet secret society system he's using, it's kind of irrelevant to me, but I don't think Israel could be running at all if Israel didn't even exist till 1948. Somebody had to put them in there. You know, so in the eyes of God, we're all guilty unless we repent. Accept the gift of truth.
One of the best things about living in an allegedly predominantly Catholic city during Lent. Oh, big fish fry. Submit a fish fry event. I don't like fish. I've never been a fish person. I do not like the taste. Shellfish I like. But I can't do just straight fish. It's too fishy. Tastes like the water. Bad.
And the Holy Spirit that he's given us when he gave us his son to die for our
Maybe fish don't like me. That's okay.
sins, and
Not every species or clade is gonna like you. Whatever.
again,
Is fish a clade? I don't know.
for whatever reason, I think 10, 11, whatever years ago was a mass awakening brought on by the Holy Spirit and people's desire to seek the truth, because they're seeing nothing but lies in this world. And the WIZZDUMB, wisdom of men, misleading them, lying to them, deceiving them, and showing their blatant hatred for us our entire lives, when you really get down to the truth of the matter. So that's why I got so passionate. Again, not even being Christian when I found the flat earth, but I knew this was important. And that's why the passionate pleas and desperate pleas to get people to wake up, and the frustration was seeing the controlled opposition come in and just make it a social clown show. What else would they do? So, stay humble, but be satisfied with our attempts, folks. We did what we were supposed to do. And
You've got shrimp, oysters, crab. The problem for you will be humidity. Why humidity? I like shrimp. I like crab. I've never had oysters. They look like goop. I don't want to eat goop.
the rest is his will. And his will be done,
Just proving flat Earth is a gateway belief? It definitely is, or was. It's not as popular these days, but it was an entrance point for a lot of people around 2017.
He even kind of says it in that video. I'll leave the link. That at one point I was saying, rooting Israel on. Do your thing. They think. I'm with you right there to the point where you think you're gonna win. Mm-hmm. I always see these people. Oh, there can't be two sides playing. There can't be the dark world order and the false light world order. And they, at the top, they're all working together. But you think they're not jockeying for control, these greedy, power-hungry fuckers? I think there's, yeah. And people always say, a house divided can't stand. Satan wouldn't divide it. Satan knows he's already lost.
Again, the characterization of Satan by a lot of these people is also very interesting. Satan knows he's going to lose because it's predetermined. but does not do anything with that information. Okay. Green Guy says, bro, relax, use the tools on your wall, go outside and do something. Yeah, he needs a break from the internet for a while, methinks.
He wants all his little minions' souls too. See, they all believe in the bullshit they're pushing. The mass majority of them. The minions, the evildoers, the governments, and their fascist partners. I'd say it's those powers and principalities that know they've already lost. So yes, Satan absolutely can divide his kingdom. Because you lose when that happens. They've already lost. So yes, Satan can divide his kingdom.
Can we go over what we've gotten on bingo after this? Yep.
People. Because he's a loser. And he's already lost. So what does it matter? He's just trying to steal your soul. That's his only goal. That's the only minimal win he can get at this point. So he'll divide till the bitter end. It's what he does. It's what got us here in the first place. Surely you won't die. How's that working out for us? God bless. Just come out of her, my people, and stay with Jesus.
God, he is doing so bad. All right, let's take a look at the bingo card, and I'll read off what we already have. We have Illuminati, Freemasons, Cabal. We're all watching a movie. Do your own research. Reptilians. The Deep State. The Matrix. Satanic. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Word salad. Incorrect word origin is evidence. Believe sci-fi tech actually exists. Vibes-based conspiracy. Overt anti-Semitism. And staggering levels of hypocrisy. And that is where we are on the bingo card. I'll leave this up while I read some chats, so you can take a look yourself. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, if Satan wants my soul, I'm not charging much. And GamerG with 35 months says, 35 great months. I keep missing streams due to work or my IRL community work, but I do watch the VODs as an escape from the madness. Watching the weird and strange with Hannah, laugh track, and learning a lot on how to debunk conspiratorial thinking, which unfortunately is getting more common lately. Thank you very much for your 35 months. And Profane Priestess with 40 bits says, we're actually terrified of the next few years. The willingness of both parties showed to put Israel's genocide ahead of voters, the connections between the MIC and Israel, and the surface-level reading most people have on the Epstein files is going to create a new generation of anti-Semitism. Oh yeah, it's already real bad. The anti-Semitism, has grown crazy fast in the last 5 or so years. It's this weird double-edged sword where I'm glad that more people are seeing the problems with the Israeli government and what it has done, but the other edge of that sword is that a lot of people are kind of dumb, black and white thinkers, and they have decided that it's not just the Israeli government, it is all Jewish people, because, they suck, and, worried about that. There's a lot of anti-Semitism in the MAGA sphere, too. It's bad. It's real bad. Anyway, next video. This is about Coca-Cola, and apparently someone who doesn't know anything about what's in Coca-Cola.
You may not look at this guy as the greatest source. The greatest authoritative source, like someone who you can rely upon. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's pouring this 2-liter Coca-Cola.
It's a 1 liter. I just want to point that out. That's a 1 liter Coca-Cola. Got a fact check.
Into this skillet. And he's serving it up. He's scooping it up. And it's turning into this black tar. And what is this? Look, it's Coca-Cola colored. It's the color of Coca-Cola. And then it goes into this frothy mix. And what is this? And then it's this hard plastic rubber type black char.
It's corn syrup. It's burnt corn syrup. The ingredients in Coca-Cola in order are carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel coloring, some kind of acid, and then natural flavors. It's corn syrup burning in a pan because you're fucking cooking it.
Hard, squishy
Yes, corn syrup is the US version.
thing. What is that? What does that in this world? Take a piece of meat, take a vegetable, take some liquid, do anything. And you'll never achieve this. This is a chemical compound. This is a chemical compound. What is this? What is it? Coca-Cola. I'm thinking,
It's sugar. It's sugar!
okay, so they had cocaine in their shit originally, but now they had to take
Stone Corbell says, this is why everyone should have to study basic molecular chemistry in high school, because I'm gonna blow his mind on what the components of table salt are.
cocaine out. Big tobacco took over the big food. And then big food utilizes addictive qualities and things to hook you into it. And Coca-Cola and Pepsi utilize things like, oh, I don't know, kidney stem cells and things of that sort. Yeah, human
You think Pepsi contains kidney stem cells? Why?
kidney stem cells in their flavor profile. And whatever. Okay, so now we have this.
Oh, sorry, missed a tip. Just a Peach said, being anti-Zionist is... Wait. Being anti-Zionist is okay, being anti-Semitic is not. Yes, agreed.
Plasticky garbage mix. What is this? This is a can of Coke. I'm sorry, this is a 2-liter bottle of
It's a 1 liter.
Coke, to be absolutely accurate here. And that looks like some kind of shit that I would burn in a campfire that looks like, I don't know, is that a melted plastic bottle? What is that? Like, it's something that is not natural.
It's sugar. It's natural.
There's no doubt about that I wouldn't eat that. I wouldn't drink
Did you know that when you burn things, they burn and become inedible? Wow. What an insight.
that. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, we can do chemical fear-mongering on the bingo card for this. Chemical fear-mongering.
It's beyond my ability to consume. I promise you that.
ഓക്കെ നമ്മള് ഇത് എത്രയാ 1.5 ലിറ്റർ സംതിങ് ആണ് ഇത്
Just
ചൂടായി
gonna show
കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ
the whole video?
എന്തായാലും ചൂടാൻ വെക്കാം എന്തായാലും ഇത് ഒന്ന് ചൂടാ നല്ല രീതിക്ക് ചൂടാ
technology in Coca-Cola and in Pepsi products.
Let's open this product. I'm now going to get...
Oh yeah, was this the person that thought that there was... What did they think was in the Pepsi?
my product. The product. 1 drop. And this product is...
Nemesaur says the kidney stem cell thing comes from a company that claimed it could use stem cells to predict which flavors would be appealing to people. Gotcha. It's always interesting how stuff trickles down through the conspiracy people until it doesn't resemble the original thing at all. They turn it into its own thing.
now on the microscope. And I've got it in dark field. Let's see
Green Guy says, now do an apple or a banana.
what this sample does. So straight away, we have got a huge amount of dots. These are just like I'm seeing in the blood. They are building together. These are like quantum dots. This is what I like. This is what I see
They're quantum
in the
dots?
blood. Obviously, you've
I don't think you need to take her seriously.
you've just seen that there are all sorts in this. I don't know what this is. Oh, look at this. This is, I'm sorry, but this is this is what I see in the blood. This is a hydrogel ribbon. And you can see these networks and structures. They're building in lines. It's absolutely full.
Crazy people shouldn't get access to microscopes. Alright, moving on. What do I want to cover next? Oops, didn't mean to close that out. Ugh. Wretched Recess has a video about the Oscars. And I guess Hamnet.
Hi everyone, just a quick video today. Sunday night I watched the
Who believes she's going to transvestigate the child from Hamnet?
Academy Awards. Now that I
hope not.
That digital, what is it, the HD antenna that I bought. That thing is really good. It was $18 from Walmart, and I'm watching shows I haven't seen forever, like the Grammys, the Academy Awards. So
is it weird you've never given a crap about the Oscars? No, I'm a movie person, and I don't even really care about the Oscars.
Whatever.
They're a little... I care about them a little. I don't take them seriously, but I am somewhat interested in them. But, like, I don't give a shit about the Grammys, because I'm not a music person.
I knew I could
or the Tonys.
Access it, so I...
Or the People's Choice Awards.
Watched most of it. I wanted to tell you about this pizza joke they made. I'm not sure if...
Also, I haven't seen Hamnet yet, so no spoilers. I don't want to know if he writes the play or not.
Anybody else, any channels...
What about the ESPYs? Is that ESPN's awards or something? Definitely don't care about that.
Have talked about that this week. I am super busy with my new job and in my last class, but so I'm not sure if this has been discussed yet, but there was this, just like gross pizza kid joke. Why do they do this still? Like,
what about the Razzies? I don't really... you'd think I'd like the Razzies because it's kind of like sarcastic and making fun of bad movies. And to an extent, it is fun. But I think the Razzies people are kind of up their own asses from what I've seen. The Razzies people seem very mean, and not just in a fun way. Like, the people behind it genuinely seem to kind of be assholes.
Aren't they aware that...
What about the Kids' Choice Awards, which may or may not still be going? I liked it a lot as a kid. I loved the Kids' Choice Awards when I was a kid. Is it still going? I don't know. Do they have, like, categories like Best TikTok, or... I don't know what kids do these days.
How many people know about this, or do they just not care? Or do we think that more people know about it just because we all as a community are aware of it? Let me know what you think about that. Okay, so here's what happened, because from what I understand, the ratings for the Oscars were not that great. So if you missed it, I'll just tell you about this part real quick. There's this kid from this movie, Hamnet. Am I the only but one that hates that name? I was half...
It's the name of Shakespeare's son.
Paying attention to the Oscars, if I'm being honest, but that movie and like that actress won awards. Like, it won a bunch of awards, I think.
Wait, is this AI? Yes, it is. That's Gemini. Uses AI on the bingo card. Boop.
And anytime I hear the name Ham...
Yep, Jay's a proxy wins with that one. Because I already saw your card earlier and it just needed that. So I'll write your name down. So that's the official bingo winner for today. We'll still play for fun.
I love a good Mean Girls reference. I always think of that line about the nephew being...
Oh, happy birthday, Jay's a proxy.
...named Anthony. The principal's like, almost as mad as I get when I think about the fact that my sister named him Anthony, like instead of Anthony. That's how I feel about Hamnet. Like, why isn't it just Hamlet?
Are you familiar with the movie? Again, it's Shakespeare's son's name. I don't know how much, like, historical reality is in this, but it's based on a book. Shakespeare's son was named Hamnet. His son died at a young age, and then the movie and book are about him being inspired, I think partially by the memory of his son, to write Hamlet, which is, of course, the most famous of Shakespeare's works. It's supposed to be good. I haven't seen it, but, like, You could at least understand the reason it's called that.
It drives me nuts. Anyways, back to this kid. Obviously, you know, he's adorable, and this is what they
Yeah, I heard about Chuck Norris. I don't care. That guy was a douche. That guy was an absolute douche.
did at the Oscars. So on stage there was the cast of Bridesmaids, like a reunion, and they came out together and they started reading like little messages, notes that they claimed were from audience members. And obviously
It's really good that she's getting into AI that agrees with her, by the way. This definitely won't lead her to terrible places mentally. I'm sure that this is good for her.
Bridesmaids is a comedy. There's comedians up there, and you know, they read like funny messages that you know, came from people out in the audience. So one by one they start reading the messages. The note that they claimed came from that little kid I just showed you said, "I'm tired and I want to go home. This show is very long and there's no pizza." And of course they zoom in on him and like everybody's laughing. For real?
Do you think that that's... I guess that would be... thinks evidence is self-evident, because there's nothing nefarious about that. Incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident on the bingo card. Presumably, she thinks the pizza is a reference to child sexual abuse because of Pizzagate stuff. I think the Pizzagate believers forget for some reason that pizza is one of the most popular food items in the world. Like, especially in the United States. People talk about pizza all the time. People get pizza all the time. People make jokes with pizza. You see it on clothing and, like, designs for things. Because pizza's one of the most popular food items. You can't just look at every instance of pizza and assume that it's about something sick.
I mean, after Pizzagate and all of the many conspiracy videos, everything on, there's a lot of really great truth content on Twitter. Lots of good comments there. I mean, how can they still get away with something like this, especially with all of...
How dare they get away with a joke with the word pizza in it?
Like the island...
That's fucking crazy.
Stuff that's going on. I was just really surprised that they would pull that. But then
Hbeard says, as we learned from a certain person's emails, people who do Pizzagate type stuff don't use code words. They openly talk about what they're doing with each other.
Again, what do people do about it? Like, we all know about it. What's anybody doing about it? Like, there's those of us that make videos, but who's going to stop them from making a joke like that? I just thought it was in terrible taste. Are you people like that out of touch with reality that you don't know how many people know about that? And it just...
Are you that out of touch that you think you're allowed to mention pizza? Maybe you're out of touch, Wretched Recess. Have you considered that? Have you considered that you're the one that's incorrect about something for once in your life? Italian Shakespeare says, so this page is evil? Maybe. It looks AI, so I think that is evil. That is evil, because it's AI. Who would fucking put pepperoni on a pizza like that? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Anyway. Wait, where is it? Here it is.
Makes them look so sick. But yeah, I had to share that in case that flew under the radar and you missed it. As it turns out, that wasn't the only Oscars pizza joke in history. I vaguely remember either watching this or hearing about it. I don't believe...
I gotta type a comment to her. I know I shouldn't. I'm sorry, but are you implying no one can talk about pizza? You know, pizza. You know, pizza, one of the most popular food items in the world. Maybe you need to unplug to get... Good enough.
Believe I watched the Academy Awards in 2014, but I don't remember. But of course, Ellen DeGeneres
Gamer G with 50 bits says, every week I see people like Wretched Recess and resist the urge to say we need to open the asylums because everyone, specifically the right, are insane and unable to function in society, but I know that doesn't work, so we'll just deal with it. Screams internally. I scream internally all the time now.
Had a huge pizza joke that year where, long story short, she orders a bunch of pizzas. She asked the audience if they were hungry. She orders a bunch of pizzas and is like passing out pizza to the stars in the front row. She asks them if she should order some pizza. You know, they're laughing. They get the pizza delivered, and here's what people do. Ellen led the bewildered delivery man into the audience to hand out slices, and then Meryl Streep eagerly grabs a slice.
Yes, this is an AI prompt.
Brad Pitt is handing out paper plates and napkins. Leo famously and awkwardly declined a slice. There you go, Leo. He knew it was bullshit. So yeah, but of course it's Ellen, the man who pretends to be a lesbian, right?
There we go. Transphobia transvestigation on the bingo card. I was wondering when that was gonna pop up for her. Ellen, huh?
Sorry you had to stare at my computer screen. I was asking AI just to summarize that stuff because I have to get to sleep here pretty soon.
If you remember it, why couldn't you just summarize it? That's insanity. Like, what are you talking about?
Here are some...
Why would you have AI summarize an event you already are aware of and could summarize yourself with your words?
Photos of the 2014 Oscars where, you know, this...
I am so concerned for children who are raised on AI, who have known nothing but this. Oh my god, their critical thinking skills are going to be epically underdeveloped. It's going to be so bad.
This whole pizza joke was a thing. You've got to be shitting me. Like, this is ridiculous. So I had to look it up real quick. So that was 2014. They're rubbing that in your face, but that was before Pizzagate. I Googled it just to refresh my memory, which that happened 2 years later in 2016. But yeah, I mean, that's just so nasty.
Bittergrin says, AI makes people too lazy to think for themselves. My 60-something boss can't even make a decision without checking with ChatGPT. Does he understand it can't make decisions? Like, it's not considering things. It's not weighing two options if you give it to them. It's statistically assuming what the next word should be in a given sentence. It's not giving good advice. It's... Oh, God. Oh, God. We're so fucked. We're so fucked. I'm fine. I'm fine.
And it's not a conspiracy, guys. Like, this is what, you know, we know. I'm preaching to the choir. We know. But it's just out there. It's out there. Okay.
Does Wretched Recess actually have a significant number of followers? She used to have a lot more on her previous channel. The second channel only has about 1,000 subscribers. The videos get within that number of views. She also has a Rumble. I'm not sure how well that's doing.
Over the weekend, I posted my first video in this series right here, Sex, Transvestigations, Rock and Roll Part 1. I was feeling a little self-conscious about it because I shared a
H. Baird with 40 bits says the whole business model of LLMs is to make it so you can't think without the AI. Then they jack up the price and monetize the act of thinking. Isn't late-stage capitalism amazing? It's something.
lot of pictures there, and I understand, guys, I'm going from a completely anonymous truth channel here to sharing super intimate details of my sex life because according to my data from our poll, I now have 57.
When is the ending stage? Probably long after either of us are dead, so don't worry too much about it.
Votes on this thing. That's the most I've ever gotten on one of these polls. In your opinion, is it really all of them? Yep, no exceptions is now 60%. So according to our data here, there is a 60% chance I lost my virginity to a satanic woman. I'm not okay. So the reason I thought I would make this series is, and I want to make sure I'm making it for the right reasons. I have gone back and forth with this. People come to...
In that video, she talks about sleeping with rock stars. I haven't seen the video yet, but I saw the intro to it. And she believes if all celebrities are secretly trans, then she would have been sleeping with a trans person.
To YouTube.
That's what she's talking about.
And watch truth channels for transvestigations. And I've got a real life one where I've had intimate sexual experiences with somebody in a very famous band. And I have so many stories to go through because that situation went completely sideways and I was devastated for like years in my 20s into my 30s. I thought the last time I saw him was 2006 for some reason, but yesterday I was going through my ticket stubs and the backstage passes and all that stuff. Like, I have traumatizing stories to like share with you. And I blocked out the fact that the last concert I was at where I saw him and we were talking was actually 2012. So, and let me be clear, this whole thing is not a Me Too thing at all. I was a very willing participant in the sexual activity. Like, this is not to put anybody on blast. Other things happened that just made the situation go really bad. So if I'm going to tell you about the situation, I might as well. I've got some incredible stories. I have secrets I haven't told anybody. So I figure I might as well get them out. I've never told anybody these stories. So some of you seem really interested. That first video, I set an age restriction on it because I have to share it. Here's my train of thought, and correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of all the stories, if we're going to decide, like if we're going to transvestigate, I feel like you need the details of his behaviors, both sexually and in these like arguments that ended up happening that completely caught me off guard. I feel like you need to know personality traits. I feel like you need to...
Well, now I gotta watch that video at some point to figure out what the fuck she's talking about.
Just have all of the facts.
Like, did she sleep with a rock star, assuming that they were gonna be in a relationship or something? Because that's not how that works.
That's why I was sharing some pictures.
Like, why would you be getting into arguments with this? I don't understand.
That's why I was telling you about my background. So let me know your thoughts on that series. If you have better suggestions, I am totally open to them.
Green Guy with a $3 tip says, at this point, I think a paper origami fortune teller from the playground would answer questions better than AI can.
I've kept these things to myself for so long. Maybe I should just keep them to myself. I don't know. But I thought it would be pretty interesting to go through and have a transvestigation for you that's like a real life account of stuff that happened to me. Oh my gosh. Remember when I did that School of Rock musical back in the fall? I had some serious reservations. Whoops, I accidentally clicked. I had some serious reservations about doing that musical because I have suppressed all of this rock stuff from my past for such a very long time. And yeah, it's all kind of just like boiling to the surface for me right now. I broke down and emailed this guy last night for the first time in years. And I was crying. So
That's probably not good.
I just figured like this will be a good way for me to get these stories out. I have an anonymous channel. I have an audience who wants to hear it, but yeah, I just wanted to say it's not a Me Too thing. There is no allegations of sexual abuse, nothing like that. I just have some crazy stories for you. The next video is going to be like the best sexual experience I've ever had in my life, and that was
I don't need to hear about that.
with him. And I feel like I just want to give you guys the details so you have all of the facts.
Why would I need those facts? Why do I need that?
I hate my phone always like goes. Hold on one second. Okay.
Like, is she just bragging? I don't understand the purpose of any of this.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions or comments or input about that, please let me know. I want to make that like an enjoyable series. I'm going to tell you about all of the crazy stuff that happened in that situation over the years. And then at the end, we'll transvestigate. And last night, you don't understand. Like, I have major PTSD from this situation. I couldn't even like look at his pictures, think about this guy for years. And last night, and oh, by the way, all of that stuff happened before I had my spiritual awakening, before I was awake. I don't know if it's a coincidence. At the very end of all of that stuff, once we stopped talking, is when I started like waking up. So 2 times in my life, the 2 worst things that have happened to me, right after that is when I have like a spiritual awakening, and I'll talk about that more like in the series. What else did I want to tell you? I think that's it for now. I'm getting sleepy, but I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a shorter one. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Over the weekend, I'll post the next video in that series. Should I make it private? Should I just post it and whoever wants to watch it,
Post it, you coward.
watches it?
What happened to the cat maid costume? I got rid of it because I got too self-conscious and felt I looked not good in it.
I think I do have to set the age restriction so my channel doesn't get pulled down for the second time. The first time I didn't even do anything wrong, so I just don't want to rock the boat. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Just a Peach with $1 says she may think they have to be a woman because the sex was good and not gross. Okay, what's next? Oh god, this isn't a conspiracy thing, but do you guys remember Mystery from the pickup artist show? Eric Markovic, I think was his name, or something like that. Eric von Markovic, that's what it was. You guys remember him? Okay, good. His YouTube channel is now full of terrible AI music videos in which he creates himself, but like it's him when he was younger, it looks like. It's like AI of him doing music videos, but younger. It's very cringe. Look at what he's doing now. That one doesn't even look like him.
He nursed one fat coat like it owed him money. She ducked in from the rain, shaking off like a stray cat funny.
Looks different in every shot. See how young he looks here compared to what he looks like today?
The jacket 2 sizes too big, thrift store crown. He leaned on the bar boots that had seen every town. Neon blade flew across her cheekbone, sharp as a blade.
Anyway, I just came across this while I was looking for stuff today in my subscriptions, and I couldn't believe it. Look at him! This is what he's doing! Does anyone know where the bats are? I do not know what his end game is here. I don't know if he genuinely thinks these songs and videos are good and that they will do something for him, but he uploaded about 30 to 50 of these all in one day. So he's doing great. Anyway, back to the conspiracy. We had some fun with these guys back on Tuesday, or no. We watched these guys on a Sovereign Citizen stream recently. I think that was yesterday. So let's look at more tinfoil from them.
Right.
It's always great to see you, Sheik. Sister Janine is happy to see you. The family is happy. I almost said the saints. The saints are happy to see you. The family's happy to see you, Sheik. You know what? When you called...
She's in contact with saints? That's new information for me.
Called me yesterday. You know, I come from a church background, right?
Okay.
Pentecostalism is in my bones, okay?
Okay.
We say stuff like, glory! Ha! Shandolada! So when you...
That explains a little bit of her personality and beliefs, if I'm being honest. I feel like growing up Pentecostal could open you up to a lot of pretty crazy beliefs.
Called me about this subject today. I said, hallelujah! He is risen!
Correct.
But you weren't talking about the king being the Christ. You were talking about another king.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Well, I'm talking about King Tut. And there was a whole ceremony that took place on November 1st, coincidentally right after the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is what? Halloween, right?
Halloween.
Right?
Halloween. Day of the Dead is not Halloween. It is sometimes colloquially explained to Americans or other people as, it's like Mexican Halloween. But it's a lot deeper than that. It involves, like, remembering dead loved ones and ancestors and stuff.
And that's when...
It's not just Halloween. It's not Halloween. It's just a point of reference they sometimes use to explain it, primarily to children, I think.
And that's when they considered us to be dead, and we weren't able to rise. And what date does Halloween fall on?
October 31st?
I'm waiting. October 31st.
October.
Which is the 10th month plus the 31st day. What is that?
41.
Why would you add the date with the number of the month? Like, you did that. I understand you did that, and that would equal 41. But why would you do that? Why would you do that?
41.
So they had to make the kings dead, right? So then they had this ceremony that took place on November the 1st, 25. The ceremony was about the return of King Tut. Now,
Harpkosian says, you know what's funny about Tut? He had about zero impact on Egyptian history, but he's the person everyone thinks about because of Carter's finding of him in the early 20th century. What was so famous about that? Was it just that it was an example of, like, a pharaoh's tomb that had been undisturbed? Had they not found many of those previously because they'd already been, like, grave robbed or something? I'm not very familiar with Egyptology. Yeah? Okay, cool. Hey, Tea Time Tea, how's it going?
it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see King Tut walking around or something, but it definitely means that we know that the ancestors...
Did anyone else watch Tuttenstein growing up? Does anyone remember Tuttenstein?
Okay.
On the the descendants of King Tut will start to rise. Okay, and we've always believed that King Tut was buried. Right, and we always believed that King Tut was buried over there in Egypt, which is what we've all was Africa. But you know, Egypt is actually too.
Egypt is
And
what?
But you know, Egypt is actually too.
I didn't hear what he said. There was a weird cut. Wannabe with 40 bits says, did you see the video of the AI-controlled robot in China that went crazy at a restaurant? Instead of waiting tables, it started smashing the dishes, then dancing. Well, I don't think it was like a dancing robot. And yeah, then they couldn't turn it off. Which is pretty funny. That's something about robots you don't hear a lot about. They're like heavy. You know what I mean? A humanoid robot is heavy. And if anything malfunctions, it's gonna like fall over or freak out. And it's really heavy, so what if it falls on like a person or an animal? That's gonna fucking hurt. Rick M with 100 bits says, born in Arizona, moved to Babylona.
And Egypt
is Africa too? Okay.
No, Egypt.
Is King Tut still in Egypt, or did the Brits steal him? King Tut is actually just recently brought back to Egypt after a world tour. Egypt built it's actually incredible, if you've not seen it. I can pull up a video on YouTube about it. So they did a world tour of King Tut, and now they're bringing him back to the new Egyptian museum. It's a absolutely beautiful museum that they've built. It costs like $1 billion or something, and it's just this huge museum in Egypt that now is the home of King Tut, along with countless other Egyptian artifacts. This is the opening ceremony, but you can see the building behind them. It's covered in triangles, evoking pyramids, of course. It's a pretty incredible building. I've seen some news reports on it. And just the sheer number of artifacts that are in this facility, it's incredible. Hate to actually you, but his body never left his tomb. All his stuff went on tour. My bad.
In the past to guard this modern museum. The Grand Egyptian Museum, built thousands of years of history, make this the world's king and the muscles. Tough task of
very cool. Anyway, sorry to get distracted on you.
He's here too.
Looks like there's a tip. Just a Peach says, Day of the Dead is November 1st and 2nd. What did he say? I don't remember what he said specifically.
Oh, yes. And you told me that you are in Egypt.
Yeah, Tennessee is Egypt. That's why you have
Tennessee is Egypt? Okay. All right. Okay.
That's why you have Memphis. That's why you have Egypt, Kentucky. You have Cairo, Illinois.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sometimes cities are named after other cities that predate them. It happens all the time. That does not mean that it is the original city.
So they triangulate. And if you look at it, they call...
You can triangulate any three things. You can triangulate any three things. Him saying they triangulate doesn't fucking mean anything. You take any three coordinates, you could make a triangle between... What are you talking about?
Call it Little Egypt because that's where the center or focal point of Egypt is. And it's right off the Nile River, which you call the Mississippi.
We know where the Nile is.
Wow. Why didn't they tell us this?
Because it's not true.
You know, if you realize that you were actually the ones that run stuff, you would have ran them out a long time ago.
If Memphis is Egypt, why is Egypt still Egypt? Take a look at this person believing there's an actual Egypt in Africa. That's a psyop. Only America exists. The rest of the world is just fiction to keep us all doing our little lives. I'm waiting for that conspiracy. I haven't heard that one yet. You think anyone in America believes that there's nothing outside of America and it's all a psyop? That's got to be at least one person, right?
Dig it. I can dig it. So now,
Random hype train, apparently. If you want to help out the hype train and help support the channel, you can always use bits or gift subs or become a subscriber yourself on Twitch.
they have in Egypt over there in Africa, and they have a lot of the nations that are in Morocco.
Just a Peach says the denial is in their heads.
And it's here. So why is it also, why are these places also in Africa? Was it one big dynasty?
Well, everything has to have, it's a parallel universe.
It's a parallel universe because it's named the same? I don't think that's how that works. Tea Time Tea, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. Overthought with 100 bits says Bethlehem is in Pennsylvania. Jesus was in the USA. The Mormons were right. Be right back. Getting my magic underwear. There's a hydrate.
So what's on the east has to be on the west. Now we've been trained to think that America.
Harold Edelman says, is this lady the most credulous moron we've seen so far, or is she a yes, and shill? Thoughts? I don't know so far. It could really go either way for me, because she kind of sounds sincere when she's like, oh wow, really? But she also does make money on this. Like, this is her job. So the incentive is there for her to be a grifter, but I don't know if she's sincere or not. Steve with a Q says the whole ancient Egypt thing is just a pyramid scheme.
Is the far west, and I'm understanding it might be the actual far east.
But everything's in reverse.
Because everything is in reverse. But whether it's the far east or the far west, let's just say for now, let's just roll with Egypt. Africa has Morocco, and that's where Casablanca is.
Right.
America has Morocco. You call it Morocco, Indiana. And that's where the White House is.
No, the White House is not in Indiana. The White House is not in Indiana.
Because in Spanish, Casablanca means the White House.
That's right.
Yes, but it's the name of a city in Morocco.
That's right.
Right? And everything has to have an opposite, right?
Yes.
So,
everything does not have, like, why he just says stuff. Everything has to have an opposite. No, it doesn't. Where is that written? Why do you think things need to have an opposite? That's not how life works.
So,
like, you think because I have this empty glass of Coke Zero, there is, like, an equal and opposite Coke Zero glass somewhere? Like, no, that's not how anything works.
America is the White House. Morocco of the East. Let me say it differently. America is Morocco of the West. And that's where the empire is, the Moorish Empire is. And then over on the east, that's where you have the Moorish kingdom. That's the kingdom.
Okay.
Right? Now, coincidentally enough, you have Giza over in Africa. And that's where you have the pyramids that everybody kind of aware of, right?
Yes.
But what's right there in front of the big Sphinx and the pyramid? It's a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Wow.
You gotta listen to that again. Hold on.
It's a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Gamer G says, and there's also a Paris, Texas. Doesn't mean Napoleon was a God-fearing patriot.
Aware of, right?
Yes.
But what's right there in front of the big Sphinx and the pyramid? It's a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Wow.
Minute left on the hype train. I don't know the significance of that. I don't know why in the world they think that's significant. Are they trolling for engagement? I don't think so. I really don't.
right?
Wow. Yes.
So they symbolically are letting you know that King Tut is from Kentucky.
I'm just processing that. Give me a second.
I can dig it.
Right?
I can dig it.
King Tut, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Deterministic etymology.
Right?
Right.
And even if you break down the word tut, T-U forward, T-U in reverse. Right?
Tut. Yes.
Right. Now let's look at T-U.
Thanks for the hype train.
T is 20, U is 21.
Wow.
41 forward, 41 in reverse.
Back. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yes.
That's what this is. Now, when they had the ceremony, and you can bring up the images I sent you. When they had the ceremony, it started on November the 1st. Then exactly 120.
Green Guy says in English is the only language. Yeah, they wouldn't have literally called him King Tut back in the day. That's a shorthand for Tutankhamun, because I don't know, people don't want to say Tutankhamun.
3 days later was
this it?
And I don't know how that would be pronounced in like the original ancient Egyptian or whatever.
Yeah. Go to the next one if you don't mind. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
And that's the resurrection of King Tut. Now that was part of the ceremony. Now I don't know if you can really see the lines that are on the side of his face or head.
The side of his head.
You see those two little pyramids on each side?
I do see the pyramids right here.
Okay, so yeah, now you see those lines right there. Now that's the shape of a what? A V.
Yes.
That's an inverted.
It's a triangle. It's clearly supposed to be a triangle invoking pyramid imagery.
Pyramid.
Right.
So they're letting you know that's Egypt of the West, which is the Americas.
I don't think so. H-Bird says, and Pharaoh means great house, like the White House, which is in Indiana, which is named after India, which has the Taj Mahal, which was a Trump casino in Atlantic City. You see, every pharaoh was born in New Jersey. Wow, that's crazy.
The upright pyramids are the.
Does Hannah know Mummies Alive? I am familiar with the show Mummies Alive. I had a Mummies Alive action figure when I was a kid. And I liked it a lot. And I have seen it as an adult a few times.
Ones in Africa. See, yeah. Just like when Obama dedicated the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., you're looking at 3 inverted pyramids. I don't know if you can pull that up in a separate whatever and just show the African American Museum.
Okay. Now what do I need to type in?
Just put in African American Museum in DC.
African American Museum. Somebody had put in the chat, they just can't see Obama coming back.
They always gonna say that. That's fine. You know, I've been getting a lot of slack ever since I said that.
Wait, does he think Obama's gonna be president again for some reason?
Do you want an illustration? Go ahead.
But it's a return of a deity.
Okay.
And people got to get over that. You know, Obama was a plant for the greater good. And people may not get that, but he was a plant for the greater good. You remember?
I was told that from the beginning. Go ahead.
Right. And you remember I said every time you see an H and a C, it means a reversal. You remember that?
Yes.
So they said Obama was born where? In Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
But he did his politics in Chicago. And that HC?
That's HC.
That's a reversal. So if you see the that's the African American Museum. Now, there's 2 things I want to point out. Everything is in 3s.
Okay.
So you see 3 layers, right?
Let me see. 3 layers.
Just a peach with a tip says, how high is she? She's not following most of what he says. Is that why she just says, wow?
Okay. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
So what's this guy's deal? Like, what do you mean? I need a little more than that. I'm confused. Like, he believes in sort of Moorish citizen stuff, but he seems more focused on the pseudo-historical black nationalist angle than the legal angle. Is he trying to grift this somehow? It's possible. It might be a true believer, though, which is a little scarier. Polysaturated lipids with 49 months. Thank you very much.
And those are 3 inverted pyramids.
Oh,
they're layered on top of each other.
Whoa, I can see it.
You're failing to understand how to monetize this? Well, they have a cash app scrolling at the bottom. So, there's that.
1, 2, 3.
There are 3 inverted pyramids, right?
Yes.
And I guess I need to add the third thing. And the color of the building is copper.
Show me is.
So they've been showing you what's really going on. I guess we just don't always want to see it, but it's there right in front of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you can go back to the other images.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. Let's see.
Does this guy have an end game? I don't know yet, but I'd love to find out. I'm gonna watch more of his stuff off stream. I haven't been able to find him on a separate channel or anything. I only see him on her channel as a guest. But there's got to be more information on this guy.
Yeah, I was told that Obama was a double agent and that a lot of things that he did that was good, of course, mainstream media wouldn't cover. But, like he deported more people than Trump. And I know he did a lot of things.
Not at this point, I don't think.
That wasn't in our...
Also, the manner and due process are quite different. I'm not going to defend Obama, but
our favor. But I was told in the beginning he was a double agent. So I just kind of steered away from that and just let them people do what they do.
Yeah, but see, okay, so they said he was the first gay president. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's not gay. Obama's not gay. I don't know who needs to hear that. Obama's not gay.
Yes, I remember.
And he had the whole White House decorated like a rainbow.
So because they did the light thing for Pride Month, that means he's gay. Not how that works, but okay.
You remember that?
Yes. Oops.
So the rainbow only means God's covenant and God's word to restore you back to Area 51. I said that just...
Wait, what?
Covenant and God's word to restore you back to Area 51.
Why are we being restored to Area 51?
I said that just in your last show, talking about Jesse Jackson. And the name of his organization is what? The Rainbow Push, right? So it's the rainbow is God's word and God's promise to restore you back to your land. That's what the whole rainbow thing is, right?
No, it's not. The rainbow in Genesis, right? Yes, the rainbow in Genesis is supposed to be symbolic of a covenant between the Israelites, specifically the only ones that are left after the flood, so Noah and his family. It's a covenant that says he's not going to flood the earth anymore. It's not anything about your land or getting power back. None of that has anything to do with the Noah story or the symbology of the rainbow within.
And see, if you break down LGBT equal 41. L is 12, G is 7, right?
Yeah.
And that 19, and then you got B, LGB. Okay, B is 2, 19 and 2 is 21, and then you got T is 20. 21 and 20 is 41, right?
He's cracked the case. He's on to us.
So then they added Q, LGBTQ right? Because they letting you know
Yes.
you're transitioning from a king to a queen.
Wow.
Q stands for queer.
Wow. Very interesting. And even in the Bible, when it came to the rainbow, it was God had said once he destroyed the earth, or the God of the Bible, that he put a rainbow in the sky to represent his promise that he would never destroy the world again.
Never flood the world again. Never flood the world again. Very different.
Not just that. You spot on, but check this out.
Okay.
And that he would never flood the earth again, too, right?
That's right. Never flood.
So
That's
if
right.
you're flooding it, what are you flooding it with? You can say water, but I say the law of the sea. Admiralty law. Right?
So the flood is a metaphor for sovereign citizen admiralty law beliefs? Great. H. Baird says, let me summarize this video.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Did they rewrite scripts for Owen Wilson specifically so he gets extra wows, or is that just something he adds himself when he feels it's appropriate? I'm actually curious about that. Steve with the Q says Noah was traveling.
So I promise never to flood the earth with this admiralty law again, because we got to go back to the law of the land, and we got to go back to my 10 commandments.
The 10 Commandments hadn't even happened yet in the Bible when Noah happened. Are you fucking serious? This guy doesn't know shit about the Bible. The 10 Commandments doesn't happen until Exodus. What the fuck are you talking about? You're multiple chapters wrong. You're talking about Genesis, which is before Exodus. What the fuck? Oh wait, is it the next chapter, Genesis, Exodus? Does Genesis end with the Joseph story? I think so, and then it goes on to Exodus. So this happens first.
When I was in church, they used to say that God would never flood it with water, but fire next time. I don't know what the fire represents.
Fire
burning
represents life.
Okay.
Life.
Okay.
Yeah. We are the fire. We are the fire. We are the energy. And look at the word pyramid. What does that mean? Pyro. Mid. Fire in the middle.
Again, no. That's not the etymology of pyramid.
Wow.
So it's the return of the pyramid people. So you see the KFC right there in front of the Giza? Yeah.
Yes.
There's actually that's actually a restaurant. I couldn't find the picture with the actual restaurant, but that is a restaurant right in front of Giza.
Wow. Let me make enlarge. See if I can make that a little larger. Yeah. Okay, I see clearly.
Yeah.
Why is she eating like that?
I don't know. She's hungry.
Oh, these people are funny.
So
now, what was this? Was this?
Is it weird that I unironically want to eat fast food in a location like this near the pyramids? I don't know. I think that's cool. I guess you could eat at a nice restaurant too, but it's kind of the juxtaposition from the banal to the terrific, you know? I don't know.
That's the KFC in front of Giza. That's just some woman eating it.
Oh, in front of Giza.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
But it said the King Tut's tomb was discovered in Egypt's Valley of the Kings on November the 4th, 1922. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yes.
19? Look, what's 19 plus 22?
Oh yeah, there's a real KFC. There's a Pizza Hut too.
41.
It's a big tourist location, so yeah, there's like fast food and shit. Also, from what I've seen from documentaries, lots of people trying to sell you stuff.
41.
Right?
Wow.
Now, you remember what I said? You remember what I said about the H and the C meaning a reversal?
Reversal, yes.
It was discovered by a British archaeologist named Howard Carter, HC.
HC.
Right?
Yes.
Now, the King's Gold is located in Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Okay. Yes. Right? Wow.
And the name of that county is called Hardin County, HC. And the zip code begins with 401. It's 40121, which is 41. You know, you're talking about getting a 401k. That means all the money comes back to you.
Wow.
The money comes, 41 comes back to the king. Right?
Bring it. Bring it.
So, going back to where I was from the beginning, after Halloween, which is H, y'all. H is the reversal, as in Halloween. Then you had...
You said it was HC, not just an H. There's no C in Halloween. Jitara says, is it banal to eat fast food near an ancient monument? I mean, some ancient people would see what the average person has access to and go, holy shit, you've got to be royalty to have such things at your disposal. Banality is relative. What's normal to you is banal.
November 1st, which was the ceremony of the restoration of, or the rebirth of King Tut, right? Now, exactly 123 days later, everything in threes. 41 times 3 is what? 123. 123.
1, 2, 3, and me.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, and me. Or ABC easy as 1, 2, 3. Right?
ABC.
There you go.
Was he dropping codes in the song?
Yes. And where did they come back? Where did the Jackson 5 come from? Indiana.
Gary? Was it Gary?
Gary, Indiana. But where did I say Morocco was? Indiana.
Indiana. Stop it. Lord have mercy today.
And he's the king.
Okay.
So anyway, 123 days later was the end of the blood moon.
That guy is an endless font of crazy. Kind of love it. Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, Fort Knox does not have gold. It's mostly a museum for that part, as I understand it, and has been since the late 90s. Okay. Moved the gold elsewhere, or at least a great portion of it. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. So let me do that. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, Cher will tell you about Krull. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, what is next?
So you have to think about one thing. Why humans who work for various governments agree to help the Draco Reptilians agenda? Why?
Why?
Because they've been given powers, they've been given safety for the future. Many secret societies, for example, learn, and I know that from facts, that some of them
That's a great citation. I know that from facts.
are also given the powers of immortality.
Really?
Yes.
Medbed.
There's people alive today who
Yes.
are considered immortal?
Yes.
Green guy says, Hannah, what's the next tip goal? We're almost there. I don't know. I failed you.
What if
I'll think about it.
humanity's next leap isn't about technology, but about breaking free from control and raising consciousness? Today on Cosmic Disclosure, we're joined by Sebastian Martin to explore the Draco, the Palladians, and the coming shift from 3D to 4D. I'm Josh Golem.
Dimensions beyond our own on the bingo card for the 3D, 4D thing.
Besky, MUFON field investigator, and your guest host today. Sebastian, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for having me back again, Josh.
Of course, I'm excited to continue this conversation. All right, so the first question is, what are the biggest challenges or problems that humanity will face as we transition from 3D to 4D?
The biggest challenge that we'll be facing will be extracting ourselves from the 3D reality of monetary system, the technologies we use and take for granted today, and that we embraced without questioning what else could.
Sorry, Wannabe. Wannabe said before my bathroom break, I don't know why he's fixated on 41. Everyone knows the ultimate answer to everything is 42, according to Deep Thought.
Could come next and what could be better than what we have today. So people are feeling very comfortable with the idea of using the existing technologies without questioning what's out there or what could be potentially be used to help humanity in general. So I think that once we extract ourselves from this mentality, we will be able to move further in the evolutionary process, because currently, like, what I believe is the Draco reptilian race that's impacting humanity and world governments. They have their own agenda. You can imagine the way I saw things is that the Draco race has a direct impact on, I would say, secret societies mainly, where they can portray themselves as like a god of some sort that human can relate to and worship. And this is, to me, very, very real. And also, you can see that through various symbols that you can see through the media or even in the pop culture. You have all these symbols that keep popping up.
Like what specifically?
Like the signs that they use. They have various symbols that they use on TV, and that's basically to help promote their secret society agenda.
How would it promote anything if it's secret and no one knows about it and no one recognizes the symbols? That doesn't make any sense. Spurious symbology is evidence on the bingo card.
And that's to do with embedding our society with that 3D reality and without changing it. So again, it's a way to keep us under control. So we don't evolve as quickly as we should be. We have all the tools today to merge from 3D to 4D. More and more people are being aware of that, but we are being refrained from going there because of the current agendas, and the worldwide governments do not want humanity to evolve fast or faster. So everything is timely. However, the Draco reptilians are also doing that for their own purpose, without breaking the treaties in place with the Galactic Alliance.
Yeah, I want to know about that. How are they able to
Yes.
do this without breaking the protocols?
Yeah, so because they don't really harm us
Yeah, we all know about the space treaty.
in person, of course.
Obviously, I knew about that.
Of course, they still do their own things. behind closed doors, the same way as the Pleiadians will help, like the US government, for example, behind closed doors. So humanity does not really know what's going on because it's not public. As long as it's not public, it's still within the realms of respecting the treaties in place for the Galactic Alliance.
Okay.
So if the Drake reptilians have their own agenda and they can use different means to achieve what they want without disrupting the balance, then, you know, they can do their own thing. And to be honest with you, I got involved with that personally when I got attacked by a Draco reptilian twice. And when I got attacked and when I got saved for my second attack when I was in New York.
Wait. So what do you mean by attack?
I was attacked physically. Like basically I had a wound on my leg. So when I was in New York, I came back to my hotel.
Wait, so in your head, the reptilians are out to get you, and they've attempted on your life twice, and you're alive. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. If there were genuinely super powerful, technologically advanced aliens, reptilians, Dracos, whatever you want to call them, if they wanted you dead, you'd be dead. There would be no attempt. It would just be done. They'd shoot a laser at you from space. Like, this doesn't make any sense. You think you're a whistleblower for this, and you're somehow still alive? That proves in and of itself that everything you believe is bullshit. Because the situation you are describing, reptilians would not allow you to live. Your story doesn't make sense.
Bedroom, and I had this massive gash on my leg, and it came out of nowhere. And so...
Can I see the scar? Can I see the scar on your leg?
You know, it was not deep enough that it would...
Because certainly it must have a scar if they were attempting, you know, to kill you, right?
bleed, but it was red enough that it could...
Oh, it wasn't even enough to bleed?
You know, it was not deep enough that it would bleed, but it was...
Oh, baby got a little scratch on his leg and decided it was the reptilians trying to kill him.
Red enough that he could potentially bleed.
Midnight, thanks for 60 months, says, can't believe they're still talking about 4D. We all knew 5D's where it's at.
So it was that deep. And then so I stayed at the shower, came to bed.
It was deep enough that it could bleed, but it didn't. That's how deep it was. Kind of more sounds like that's how deep it wasn't. But okay.
And when I went to bed, I could feel the attack. And I had something in my body. So that was... And I knew this was from the direct reptilians as well.
Okay.
So when I closed my eyes, I could see that floating, almost like peel that looked like green and white that was floating within my bloodstream. But I knew, like intuitively, right away, that it was directly connected to them.
Okay.
And I also believe that this weapon that was used against me was not from a Draco reptilian, but from a human being that was working for the Dracos.
Right? Okay.
So they are using people within even the US government to achieve their own agenda. It doesn't mean that they work for CIA or, for...
Many reptilians are listening. I am fully ready to turn on the human race. I will do whatever you want. We need new management, reptilians. I'm on board.
The SSP.
I will betray any human being you need me to.
Anything else, but they have their own little secret societies and organizations that allow those human beings to interact with us.
What jumps out here is that the story moves very
AI host
quickly from a direct attack into the idea of human involvement. And
all right, I'm moving on now that he's on screen. I hate that fucking AI piece of shit. This guy's one of the people who believes he was a super soldier. Let's take a look at this. I haven't watched this yet.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Rock Cloud. Today I just want to go over some things real briefly with you guys. I'm kind of being like stretched all over the place, maintaining, different things, not just, military and gathering intelligence wise, but, just within my life as well. Some of you guys already know about
Camo Yankees had as a choice. He's a soldier. Obviously, he needs to be in camo all the time, even in his house, where it's not camouflage at all.
some of the things I've already stated, months ago. But staying focused on the mission with disclosure. And another thing,
why is all the camo stuff still all Vietnam style camo? You don't see a lot of urban camo, stuff where it's like blocky. What's up with that?
guys,
Get up with the times, people.
Look, this war is a distraction. Of course, when it comes to the U.S. and this other president over there, as far as Islam, these guys are demonic entities that is trying to expand their area, their territory. They're trying to expand their territory. At the same time, we're hearing about the U.S. is bombing schools with females over there. And again, we know how this is. These Luciferians, they paint a picture. Bush did the same.
Annoys me a lot that people like this are blaming things that are bad on Satan instead of the human beings who do it.
Same thing when
it's a weird scapegoat.
Came to war.
This is what camo looks like nowadays. Oh, that's ugly. I know that there's a practical purpose for this, but that's ugly. I don't like it. I'd rather be visible to the enemy.
It's
okay. It's illegal for me to be in the armed forces, so I don't have to worry about it.
Came up with some bullshit to give the American people. And did you guys see the Marine that was hauled out saying that they did not want to go to war with Iran? It was a senseless war, and he's trying to relate to people what's going on. And our own people are against each other. This is the infiltration that we're talking about. And the American people need to stand together. We're talking about not just the military standing up and doing what's right, but the police officers. We all need to stand up and do what's right. School teachers, everybody need to stand up and do what's right.
Gitaro with 50 bits says, I don't know if any of you have ever played Stellaris, but as one of the playstyles, you can basically roleplay as a reptilian alien species and infiltrate, spy on multiple pre-spacefaring civilizations, and shape their development to your purposes, or wipe them out if you want. And occasionally, some of the people might catch you doing stuff, but if you cover up your actions, they get written off as crazy conspiracy theorists. That sounds fun.
And stick together, with the people, because we have Luciferians, these demonic beings that can change forms. Okay? Now,
we can do accidentally based for being against the Iran war, but yeah, his diagnosis is obviously completely wrong. He thinks it's reptilians instead of specific groups of human beings.
You're gonna have people in disclosure movement right now, and they've been out there for a while, and I can name one of them. I really don't like calling names because I don't want to be against people, but this particular person, she's been out there for a long time, talking to whistleblowers, but it's the same thing, guys. When people when they change over time, you really get to see their true colors.
The text says, she thinks Trump is a white hat. No, he turned his back on us. So he used to support Trump. So Carrie doesn't know what the hell she's talking about because of how the system is set up. Our top military white hats have to pick our battles. We need the Epstein files fully unredacted. You'll know more about the reptilian info and slave colonies on planet and off planet and the UFO technology.
Get to see how infiltrated people can become and how compromised they can be, especially when it comes to integrity. We know that this war is not only a distraction from the Epstein files, but they're doing sacrifices over there. They do not like the female divine.
They're not doing sacrifices. It's not a sacrifice. They're killing innocent people. because of the extensive bombings happening, but it's not a ritual. It's a cynical personal thing where they're at least Israel is trying to gain things from this. It's not a ritual.
Feminine energy. This is why they bombed first a all-female girls' school. They are really...
All right, this guy's just depressing me. I'm gonna move on. He's able to recognize certain things are bad, but completely misses the mark on what and why is happening. That's depressing.
The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space.
What if I told you that while the world watched rockets lift off and history unfold on television, entire branches of space exploration were already operating beyond public oversight, classified not for decades, but for generations, not as a single project, but as a network of compartmentalized programs buried within military, aerospace, and intelligence structures operating under levels of secrecy most citizens were never informed existed. Over time, researchers, whistleblowers, and insiders would begin referring to this hidden infrastructure by a single name: the Secret Space Program. Most people think that the Secret Space Program is just...
He needs some, echo. He needs some sound foam. Too echoey.
Another conspiracy theory. Something entertaining to speculate about, but not something that could actually affect their life. That assumption alone is part of the problem, because if even a fraction of what has been leaked, testified to, and quietly acknowledged over decades is true, then it means humanity has been living inside a carefully managed version of reality. Not just politically, not just technologically, but existentially. This isn't about aliens.
Existentially. That's a word. Fenekagami says, to be fair, the end times cultists in our government do think they're participating in some kind of ritual to start the revelation prophecies. Still not the rituals he's talking about, though. I do wonder for people like that. I don't think Trump is one of them. He doesn't have enough of an ideology to be into the rapture stuff. But, for Pete Hegseth or any of the other evangelical types that do believe that, I do wonder if they succeeded in what they wanted and literally wiped Iran off the map and Jesus still doesn't show up. What do they do? They just think they didn't blow up enough stuff? They're not going to take their wrong for an answer. So, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
As entertainment, okay? It isn't about science fiction or even spaceships or futuristic fantasies. This is about who controls access to advanced technology, off-world operations, time-altering systems, and non-public knowledge of consciousness itself. And once you see that possibility clearly, you can't unsee it.
Why do they even want the end times thing to happen? So Jesus will come back, and all the Christians will be raptured, and all the sinners will go to hell for eternity, and the world will end.
The question stops being, is this real? And becomes...
These people have been trained since birth to think this is the ideal thing, is Jesus coming back and sorting people into the people who deserve to go to heaven and the people who deserve hell. You gotta understand that. They think that's the ultimate purpose of reality.
Well, if this is real, why was it hidden? One of the first misconceptions people run into is the idea that the Secret Space Program is one single operation run by one authority with one unified agenda. It isn't. There is no one SSP. There is no singular command structure There is no monolithic organization secretly running everything behind the scenes.
Not even Stargate Command?
What multiple insiders and whistleblowers consistently describe instead is a fragmented ecosystem of covert programs, factions, and breakaway infrastructures, many of which do not agree with each other, and in some cases are actively in conflict. Some of these factions are military, some are corporate.
All right, this guy's boring me.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm pissing these fallen angels off or doing them a favor. Well, I know I at least pissed that one off. You know, that one, Mike L. Phelps. You know, the one that flaps his wings like an angel, even before he golfs, apparently.
That would be stretching, sir. That would be stretching he's doing before athletic activities.
You know, the one that suspiciously looks like a writer H.P. Lovecraft who loved to write about water. You know, Mike L., who is surrounded by all these gold medals. And do you ever see what's on them? Oh, it looks like an angel. And boy, if it's an upside down angel, it sure looks like it's falling. And well, this was really such a ridiculous theory. Do you really think he'd be in my comments saying, don't speak about me again? But this video...
Don't interact with crazy people. They'll just take it as evidence they're right. Fenekagami says it's more selfish than that. It's so that objectively God comes down and proves once and for all they were right. All their enemies are wrong, and they are better than everyone else.
It isn't about him. No, I've been there and done that, and you can go look it up. No, this is about a different angel. You see, last week I did a video about how Jack Johnson sure looks an awful lot like you-know-who. And well, I've already shown how the #1 swimmer of all time is you-know-what. And you want to know who's really good friends with Jack Johnson? The #1 surfer of all time. This guy, Kelly Slater, with the snake logo and the pyramid and the 5-pointed star out of surfboards. Oh, and doing
That's not a 5-pointed star. It's not a star at all, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points.
Hang loose. That's a little something different. Well, yeah, he got...
How far into SG-1 am I now? Season 9. It's taken a lot longer to get through Season 9 than the previous seasons because of all the casting changes, which I'm not a fan of.
Got in my comments.
But we're getting through it. We're getting there.
Defending his buddy Jack Johnson and mocks me and Flat Earth, and then we had a whole nice little dialogue in the DMs. And well, before we get any further, I want to show you a Bible verse talking about angels and how they have human likeness, but each had 4 faces from Ezekiel 1, 5 through 9. And that Ezekiel is specifically talking about the cherubim angels. Well, did you know the angels that fell and they were led by Satan included high-ranking entities such as cherubim angels? And let's take it back to Kel-E, you know, L like Elohim, like the sons of God or fallen angels. I couldn't help...
The letter E and the letter L are not allowed to consort with each other. It pisses this guy off.
But notice a certain likeness to him and someone else. And you might not see it, but keep watching. I couldn't help but notice how similar they looked and how similar their mouths and eyes were. And I thought to myself,
how much roadkill has the bald guy eaten?
Kelly truly is RFK. Well, Robert is his name, and well, Kelly's middle name will be Robert, because I know how they operate. So you know what I did? I went and looked. And sadly, Kelly's middle name wasn't Robert. No, it was actually his first name, Robert Kelly Slater. So you know what I went and did then? I went and compared their younger photos. And if that's not an exact match, especially those lips, then I don't know what is. Robert, they're shapeshifters. They can look young and old like that.
I'm gonna let y'all in a little bit. Pull back the curtain so y'all ready, man, because here it goes. Hey, y'all, this is Blair.
Sorry, Teddy. I mean, Robin. I mean, Blair. It was just too good not to use, and he's actually been pretty kind. We might go get coffee. We'll see. Now back to this one. Because, you know, it's funny. About 1.5 years ago, I did a video on this Robert over here, saying how he was being played by Mel L. Gibson. And remember how these cherubim angels have 4 faces? Well, 1, 2, the same 1 and 2. Well, we have 1 and 2 and 3. And like I said, I did a video on this 1.5 years ago, but back then I thought they were putting on masks, but now I know better. Now I know better that when I see those 2 dots, see 1, 2, it's hairy there, but there's 2. Kind of just like 1, 2 right there, and then there's a little spattering of 3 there. Kind of like, wait for it, 1, 2, 3, spattering of 3, and whose arm would that be? Well, RFK and Mel. Well, when you look at Mel's little scar here, right angled from his belly button, that looks kind of like a mushroom. Do you see that? Like a stem here, and then the mushroom. It kind of looks just like this stem and mushroom right there. That was at the same angle from his belly button. Do you see it? Right there and right there.
I literally have a headache. Not even joking.
Good look. Kael Mael. And like I said in the beginning, I don't know if I'm pissing them off or doing them a favor, because here's Kelly up here antagonizing me, mocking me with flat earth, I think to get me to do a video on him. And I made sure I said, hey, I've got some aloe. I can send it for your widow tummy scar if you want. Like that, my friends. And you want to see my favorite part? Well, have you ever seen how I say they bring their wives with them? You know, because I think some of them are the watchers who transgressed with human women, and now they're stuck with those wives for God knows how long.
Even in his weird conspiracy rant, he has to be weirdly sexist and do the boomer humor of, my wife, am I right?
You see this lady? You see her? Well, that's actually 2 ladies that I spliced together. You can...
Yeah, no shit. You didn't even line them up well. Pretty obvious it's 2 people. What?
Hardly tell, right? When you say...
No, you can tell. You can tell a lot.
That's an exact match.
No,
you say? I mean,
it isn't.
When I smooth over, everything's in the exact same spot. The lips are the same. The eyes, the eyebrows,
They're
even.
not, though.
And hey, that's Kelly's wife, and this other one, it's Mel's wife. And would you imagine that they posed so perfectly at the exact same angle that all I had to do was push their heads together, and look at that. There's your shape-shifting fallen angel, my friends.
I find it so interesting that he both thinks they're shapeshifters, but they're shapeshifters that could only turn into someone that he thinks looks similar to the other people they turn into? What a weird version of shapeshifting.
And I'm sure they're...
Like, they still look, according to this guy, identical. They don't in reality, but he seems to think so. So why even say they're shapeshifters?
There's a 4th one out there somewhere that I just didn't have time to find. Oh, and you want to see one more very interesting thing? Their legs were straight, and their soles of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot. Well, do you ever see when Selena Gomez fell and something looked really weird with her foot? Like, I don't know, it might be shaped like a calf's hoof. That's not normal.
It's literally just most of the foot being obscured by her leg from this angle. Are you serious? You seriously can't in your head be like, ah yes, I see why the foot is covered like that from the perspective of the camera lens. You assume her foot turned into a calf foot?
Their legs were straight and the soles of their feet were like hoofs of a calf. Now, that looks like a hoof to me. Of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think that all the greatest athletes of all time are a bunch of fallen angel babies who want to be recognized, so they're DMing me. That's Tia Claire Toomey, the fittest woman to ever live. Tom Brady, the best quarterback to ever live, the best swimmer to ever live, Michael Jordan, the best basketball player to ever live, the best biker to ever live, who was...
It's kind of funny that he, for the pictures of Michael Jordan, he's using, for the one that's Michael Jordan on the right, the baseball pic. I guess the other guy's a baseball player, so that's why he's using it, because he's saying they're the same person. Great.
Freaking Buzz Aldrin, and the best surfer to ever live. I think maybe I'll do Tony Hawk next. Hawk is a bird with wings. Of course, there's entertainment purposes only, people. I don't really think there's a bunch of fallen angels running around deceiving humanity, getting you to worship them instead of the Most High.
My favorite person to worship is the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2, for sure.
That's ridiculous.
What's his point? That all famous people are shape-shifting angels.
Ridiculous.
That are in control of society.
Entertainment only.
Okay. I think we'll do one more video. Let's end with the same guy we started with, the QAnon guy, and then we'll call it a night.
We've been given a sort of a gift that we can move on and we can imagine the future. We have that strength. We were put here for a reason. Hi, Ellie Weber. Welcome back to our channel, my dear family and friends, brothers and sisters, star seeds, regular folks. Everyone is welcome. We are one unified humanity, and that's the really good news. There's a lot of really good news.
Except all the people he thinks are satanic. They're gonna die.
I want to talk about the EBS. I want to talk about my song, the EBS Blues, and what that means and why it's so important that we
please sing a song.
Hang on. I don't think it's coming as fast as we think, as fast as we would like, but that's the good news. I'm going to explain why. Please like and subscribe to the channel, smash the notification bell so I can send you other videos. Press the like button, check out everything in the show more, and let's rock.
Kagami says, so this guy's never been confused for someone else before, huh? There's like only so many combinations of facial structures that you could possibly have, and frankly, human genetics have been bottlenecked multiple times, so people looking similar isn't a conspiracy. I once was stopped by the cops who were looking for an escaped parolee, and when they showed me his picture, I could see how they thought I was the guy. Yeah, lots of people look similar.
Like a half hour listening. So I spent a few moments this morning, like a half hour, listening to SGAnon. I think he delivers an excellent information source.
He's another QAnon right-wing conspiracy influencer.
And I like his sort of the balance and the way he brings in like reason into it and makes it accessible for everyone. So I highly recommend SGAnon that you check it out. So I want to give my feelings on it in terms of like the overall intel that I'm seeing and where I think this is going. I think kind of like to skip to the end, what is going on right now is that we are developing into a solid force. We're not just a bunch of scattered digital warriors putting out posts and, not getting invited to Thanksgiving dinners. We are becoming a force. We're becoming unified. We're becoming stronger. Everything is kind of coming into place right now. So that's the big picture. The big picture is that I would say, if you've gotten this far, if you're on this channel, you're doing a great thing. I'm kind of echoing what SGAnon was saying, that we are doing amazing things. Now, could the EBS happen tomorrow? The EBS is the Emergency Broadcasting System, and many of us have been waiting for many months for this event to occur. When this happens, everything will be shut down. All communication platforms will be shut down. The real United States, the real white hats will broadcast messages as to what's really been going on. Now, you and I know.
Again, his happy ending is a subversive force taking over the government without anyone's permission and broadcasting propaganda while all communication systems are shut down, and they don't see this as dystopian or fucked up. They view this as the good guys winning.
Know basically what's been going on, but there are a lot of people that still believe that the Matrix is real. So there's a big awakening coming, and all of us who are on this channel are a little bit ahead of ourselves. You know, I know what it's like to be ahead of your time a bit. I mean, I've been like this since I was pretty young. I was always a few years ahead, and it's always
This video's from 2023, by the way.
frustrating to wait for your friends to catch up, but that's just the way it is. We're lucky. We've been given a sort of a gift that we can move on and we can imagine the future. We have that strength.
Doesn't seem like you've moved on. Again, you're still on this channel posting Nasara and QAnon content regularly, still saying, you know, things are going to change soon, change soon. You're not moving on. You've stuck yourself to this very specific belief. And now you've basically entered a state of arrested development because you're just waiting for this fantasy to come to fruition.
Put here for a reason. So in terms of granular structure, it seems yet we should be very happy that TikTok seems to be coming into the control of the white hats, and this will
Jitara says, I'm surprised we didn't see any of those bloodline-obsessed wackos this time.
help red pill a lot of the younger people, which is very important because they need to be involved and they need to be really heavily involved in their own future. So that's good news. But we could be lulled into thinking that the enemy, the dudes as we like to call them, are out of ammo. And I don't think that's really the case. I think they're using some weather wars, some earthquakes.
So, weather control on the bingo card. Sorry, I was using my phone. My wife is ordering us cookies. Let's see. Where is that? What's even the space I just said? Shit, I'm thinking about the cookies now. Fuck. Help me. Which one was it? He just said it. Hold on, I'll go back.
Some kind of
weather control. There we go. Where is weather control on here? Where is it? Do you guys see it? There it is, 26.
Echoing SGAnon, but I'm also kind of putting in my own feelings about this, that they still have some ammo left, and though they're not as forceful as they used to be, they have to be eliminated forever in every state, and they have infiltrated every part of our culture. They're in administrative, they're in business, they're in financial sectors, they're in education sectors, certainly medical sectors. They're in everything and in every country. They've been paid off, they've been blackmailed, they've been bribed, and they're doing horrific things behind the scenes. I'll let you do your own research on that, but that will be coming out more and more, the actual crimes that these people have been committing for thousands of years. This is not a new battle. This is not Democrats and Republicans or even rhinos. This is a war against humanity that's been taking place for thousands of years, and we are about to walk away in victory, but it may take a little longer time, and that's where the EBS Blues,
it must be nice pretending that, like, all the problems in the world are created by, like, a dozen or 1,000 people, and then if you just, like, stopped those people, everything would be great, not understanding that, like, even if certain people are technically to blame for certain things, the systems that they're operating within affect their behaviors. So even if you were to take out people, like, a lot of us here don't believe that, like, billionaires are great, right? But if you were just to tomorrow, let's say someone got, you know, the death note, and all of a sudden we woke up tomorrow and all the billionaires were gone, without changing the system, more people like them would end up in the same positions of power, right? And they would act similarly because the system is set up to incentivize certain behaviors above others. You need to change a system. You can't just be like, I got all the bad guys. That's not how it works.
It's kind of a funny song, but it's serious because we are waiting for the EBS Blues. We've stocked up on survival foods. You know, we have food and water in our houses. We've been doing this for years now, getting ready for the big events. What it seems like to me from analyzing the little that I can kind of tell, I mean, some of the intel has sort of slowed up, and I'm finding that a lot of the intel from the channels that
I do hate anime, but I did see the live-action Death Note Netflix movie, so.
I really...
It was bad.
looked up to for a while have been compromised by some very strange forces. I'm not going to mention names, but you know who you are. You're putting out things about Israel and the Jewish people that is quite, it goes quite against what I envision as the Great Awakening, where all of humanity will walk forward together. This is a kind of a problem, but what I am thinking is that the situation in the country is coming to something of a close, and everything has been exposed there. All the good people of the world can see where all the money went, and they will see more and more clearly as they really expose that it didn't really go to the military at all. It went into their operations behind the scenes. This is a huge hub of some very illicit activities, this country. You know, it's not the people, it's the force that we've been dealing with for thousands of years that is really waging war.
Accidentally based for not being anti-Semitic. Is the bar that low?
Against humanity. Now,
Jesus Christ.
This theater of operations, I believe, is about to be somewhat transferred over to the Taiwan area, because that area has to be cleaned up as well. And there are many underground areas that have to be cleaned up before
Have I looked outside? I try not to.
we can walk into this new age of enlightenment, the Great Awakening, the age of the Messiah, of Mashiach. Before we're able to walk out of slavery into total freedom. I mean, that's the good news. Now, when this goes down, yes, we will hear the EBS, the Emergency Broadcasting System. We will be in our houses. Could be 10 days of darkness. I think the cyber attacks are going to start soon. I think the market crash is fairly imminent because we have to take away the resources from these guys. But the main thing I'm saying, and I think this kind of culminates a week of me kind of trying to put this message out, that it's not about a single event, it's not about a little victory, it's about winning the war for humanity forever. So not only have we been transformed from individual soldiers sitting in our houses, getting on the internet while our family kind of shuns us, or we have transformed ourselves into a real powerful force, so that
this video's from 3 years ago when Biden was still in office.
To the point that I think as the transition happens, that we will move into the areas of power, in a sense, not power like, oh, I want to take it, I'm gonna be a powerful guy now, but power in terms of we are the people that will be trusted to serve humanity.
What do you call the Christians who appropriate Judaism? They used to be called Jews for Jesus. But now they're called, what do they call themselves? Messianic Jews is what they call themselves. It's basically evangelicals LARPing as Jewish people.
In the future, we're the ones who knew what was going on. We're the ones who weren't fooled by things, by diversions and false flags, and we kept steady to the purpose, and we have really strengthened ourselves terrifically. So I think all in all, at the end of the day, we all have the EBS blues. We want this thing to be done. We're not about dates, but yeah, come on, man, let's get it done. But there's a big picture here. Everything has to be lined up. I think it will happen. I don't know when. I don't know if we're talking...
The guy who said he was Noah was jailed for his failed prediction. I saw that. I want to cover some of his videos if I can. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't earlier on in the saga.
End of summer, we're talking next week. I really have no idea how the time thing is going to work out. The basic thing is that a little more has to take place. You could see there are going to be some weather things. I saw a map of California in the past in 1754. It was pictured as an island, so there could be some kind of plate situation where the guys...
So you saw I shouldn't say bad, you saw a map that was incorrect on California, and therefore you assume that old map is secretly correct in predicting the future. I don't see the through line there. How did you get from A to B?
The bad guys, the dudes, maybe trying to do some kind of earthquake damage around the world. They seem to be doing that. I would say they're responsible for the earthquake.
Wasn't that Lex Luthor's plan from the first Superman movie? Yeah, he was trying to sink California so his property in the states adjacent to California became beachfront property or something.
In Turkey, but there are a lot of underground sites as well that need to be taken out, and the traffic situation needs to be completely removed so that our
one of them at least was Nevada, but I'm not sure if there were other states where he bought stuff.
Children in the future can play.
I haven't seen the Superman movie in a little bit.
Freely and without worry, and they can be creative and they can be fruitful and multiply, which is really the bottom line. Like I said, we're coming into Purim on the 7th of March, which means a great reversal of power. So expect to see great reversals of power, but I don't think the war is quite done yet. And the good news is we still have a little more time to focus on our own ascension, which is really what this is all about. Please like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos. And let's get out there joyously knowing that we are building something that can never be taken away from us. We are building a solid foundation with the help of galactics and the help of the solar flares and the help of the basic movement of historical forces and the rotation of history, really. We're going into a new quantum age, and that's the good news. So let's get out there, be fruitful and multiply. May the force be with you. May God bless and protect you. And let's get out there with a big smile on our face and continue to rock the world.
Let me see if that EBS Blues song is on YouTube. Yes! Do it! Alright, we'll end on his conspiracy song.
Hi, Ellie Weber. Welcome back to our channel. My dear family and friends, I'm going to play a song called the EBS.
Just play it.
Kitchen shelves are fully stocked. I got bottled water under my cot.
His voice actually isn't bad. I'm surprised.
Oh, Lord,
He's no Danzy.
I got the EBS blues. Oh, Dr. Fauci, he got that ouchie. Skipper and Gilligan, they were no slouchies.
At least it's not AI music. I unironically love stuff like this. Like, obviously he's incorrect about things, but I love conspiracy art, whether it's like paintings or drawings or music. I find it fascinating. It's just a very human thing, whatever your beliefs are, if you care about them deeply, some person will make art about it. In this case, it's a QAnon belief. What he's saying isn't true, but he feels it, and he channeled that into art. I think it's interesting.
Oh, Lord, I got the EBS blues. Waiting for the 10 days of darkness. Waiting for the first arrest. Oh, Lord, I got the EBS blues.
Alright, your interlude is too long.
Waiting for the 10 days of darkness. Waiting for the first arrest. Oh, Lord, why is that general wearing a dress? I got the EBS blues, Lord. Just don't know when this thing's gonna end already. Oh Lord, I got the EBS.
I genuinely don't know, H. Baird.
Blues.
All right. So that's another tinfoil day for the books. Thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. Always have fun looking at weird stuff with y'all. I will be back tomorrow, probably midday, so look out for that stream. And let's see who we're gonna raid. Do 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 do. All right, Tina. All right, have a great night, everyone. I'm gonna make some Hot Pockets, 'cause I'm an American, damn it. And that's what America's all about, is questionable meat, frozen, put in a pocket, and then you microwave it. That's America. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.